This is the question asked in today's SkillTrack daily challenge. So in the first line of our input, we are given an integer n as input, and after that we are given n integers as input, and then we are given an integer d as input. So here our task is to take all the integers which are starting with d. So here the value of d is equal to 1. So out of the n integers, we have to take all the integers which are starting with 1. So here the first integer 135 is starting with 1, and the integer 12 is starting with 1, and then 156 is starting with 1, and then the integer 1 is starting with 1, and the integer 111 is starting with 1. So these are all the integers which are starting with 1. So now our task is to take all these integers separately and then return them. So in our output we can see that the old array contains all the integers in our input, and the new array contains the integers which we have highlighted. So these are all the integers which are starting with the digit d. So this is our output. So in this case we are able to find integers which are starting with d. Suppose if we are not able to find even a single integer which is starting with d, then we have to return -1. So let us see our sample input 2 for an example like that. So here the value of n is equal to 4, and in the second line of our input we are given 4 integers as input, and after that the value of integer d is equal to 6. So now we have to take all the integers which are starting with 6. But here we can see that out of the 4 integers, none of the integer is starting with 6. So we are not able to find even a single integer which is starting with d. So in these cases our output array will be empty. So we should not return an empty array. We should return an array with -1. So in our output we can see that the new array is containing -1. So this is how we should be returning our array. Now let us see how to write a C program for this. So here most of the code is already written. Our task is to just implement this function named getIntegers starting with d. So before that, let us see the flow of our program. So first we are creating a structure named bounded array, and a structure is nothing but collection of variables. So this structure has two variables, an integer named size and an integer array named arr, and this structure can also be called with bounded array with lowercase b. So here we have used typedef. So that is the use of typedef. Whenever we are going to create a variable for this particular structure, we can use that name. And in the main function, as we have seen in our sample input, first we will accept n, and then we will accept n integers and store in array arr, and then we will accept the integer d as input, and using this function get integers starting with d, we will get all the integers which are starting with d and store it in a structure named b array, and then we will iterate through it and print the new array. So now let us see how we will be defining this function get integers starting with d. So this function getIntegers starting with d accepts three variables in its arguments. So the first is an integer, and the second is an integer array, and the third is again an integer. So this variable size is nothing but the size of this array arr. So now our task is to iterate through this array arr, which is of size, and we have to take all the integers which are starting with d and we have to return it. So this is our task. So in our function, first we are going to create a new variable for the structure. So we are going to use the typedef name. So the typedef name is bounded array with lowercase b. So bounded array b1. So this is the first variable which we are creating for the structure, and this function is expected to return a pointer to the variable. So again I am creating a structure pointer. So bounded array star ptr. So I am creating a pointer, and now we are going to link this pointer and b1. So I am setting ptr is equal to address of b1. So now whatever the changes we are going to make in b1, that will be automatically reflected in ptr. So anyway we will be returning ptr, we will be doing changes only in b1, because now both are linked. Whatever the changes we make in b1 will be directly reflected in ptr. So now we are going to implement the logic for this function get integers starting with d. So our task is to iterate through this array arr, and if the integer of the array is starting with d, then we have to store those integers separately. So to store those integers, I am creating an integer array named temp of size 1001, and I am creating another integer variable named len, and I am initially setting it to 0. So now we are going to iterate through this array arr, and we are going to take all the integers which are starting with d. So let us iterate through this array ARR. So to do that, I am creating a for loop, and the size of the array ARR is size, which we are given in the arguments. So in the arguments itself, we are given the size of the array ARR. So this loop starts from 0 and iterates till I less than size. And in every iteration of this loop, we will be checking whether the first digit of ARR of I is equal to D or not. So here I have defined the function named first digit. So this first digit accepts the integer n in its arguments, and this function is expected to return the first digit of the integer n. Suppose if the integer n is equal to 550, then this function should return 5 because that is the first digit. So to do that, we have to create a while loop, and we have to give the condition n greater than 9. So the while loop will be iterating until n becomes less than or equal to 9, and in every iteration of the while loop we should divide n by 10. So when n becomes less than or equal to 9, there will be only one digit in the integer n. So that digit is nothing but the first digit. So this function should return that value of n. So now we will be using this function first digit in every iteration of this loop. So if the first digit of ARR of I is equal to D, then we will be storing ARR of I into the temporary array. So whenever this condition is satisfied, then we will store the integer ARR of I into temp. So the condition will be such a way that temp of len plus plus is equal to ARR of I. So after the execution of the loop, all the integers which are starting with D will be stored into the temp array. But if none of the integers are starting with D, then our temporary array would be empty. So in those cases, the value of len will be equal to 0. So as per the conditions given in the question, if you are not able to find even a single integer with first digit equal to D, then we have to return an array with -1. So whenever len is equal to 0, we will be storing -1 at the index 0, and we will set len is equal to 1, because we should not return an empty array. So we are storing -1 in the index 0, and we are making the size of the array as 1. So we will be performing this only when len is equal to 0. Suppose if we have integers in the array, then we should not implement this. So only when len is equal to 0, we are going to add -1 at the index 0 and return the array. So now we have to update our structure. So our structure has two variables, an integer size and an integer array ARR. So now we have to store the length in size and the temp array in ARR. So to access the variables of structure, we should use dot operator. So we will be setting b1.size is equal to len, so that the length of the temp array will be set in the structure variable, and then b1.arr is equal to temp. So the temp array will be stored in the structure array. So now the b1 array would have been updated, and since ptr is a pointer to b1, all the changes made in b1 will be reflecting in ptr. Since this function is expected to return a pointer, we will be returning the ptr, so that function will return all the integers which are starting with D as per the conditions given in the question. So this is the logic to solve today's daily challenge. Thank you for watching.